What if I told you that the very act of you trying to be a good person is sabotaging your success, draining your energy, and trapping you in cycles of resentment? What if the path to true empowerment and influence demands that you shed the naive pursuit of constant goodness, as we commonly understand it? Today, we're diving deep into the controversial yet profoundly liberating insights of Niccolò Machiavelli, often misunderstood as a prophet of evil, but whom I contend was a pragmatic sage of human psychology. His wisdom isn't about becoming ruthless, but about becoming effective in a world that isn't always kind. It's about understanding power, human nature, and how to navigate the messy realities of life without being crushed by them. This isn't permission to be cruel, it's an invitation to psychological mastery. Think about it. How many times have you bent over backward for others only to be taken for granted? How often have you prioritized being nice over protecting your own boundaries, only to find yourself exhausted, resentful, and feeling like a doormat? Perhaps you've withheld a crucial truth to avoid hurting someone's feelings, only for the situation to explode later. You might be the person who always volunteers, always says yes, always seeks to avoid conflict, because you genuinely want to be perceived as a good person. But secretly, you feel a slow burn of frustration. You watch as others, seemingly less good, achieve their goals, command respect, and navigate life with a certain unburdened ease that eludes you. You might even find yourself in perpetually toxic relationships, continually sacrificing your own well-being on the altar of misguided altruism. You believe that if you just keep giving, keep being understanding, keep being agreeable, eventually the world will reward your inherent goodness. Yet the opposite often happens. You become a target for manipulation, a vessel for others' demands, and a silent sufferer of your own unacknowledged needs. This isn't a flaw in your character, it's a vulnerability in your strategy. You've confused moral purity with practical effectiveness, and in doing so, you've disarmed yourself in the psychological arena of life. The painful truth is, being naively good in a world that isn't always good leaves you exposed. This is precisely where Machiavelli, through his seminal work, The Prince, offers a radical reframe. Machiavelli wasn't advocating for evil, but for realism. He observed human nature not as it should be, but as it is. Writing in a brutal era of political intrigue and constant threats, The Prince was a survival guide for rulers. His core insight? A ruler who always tries to be good in every sense, always merciful, always honest, always open, will inevitably be ruined by those who are not. This isn't just true for princes, it's profoundly true for individuals navigating complex social landscapes, modern careers, and intricate personal relationships. Machiavelli introduced two crucial concepts: virtù and fortuna. Most people misunderstand virtù as traditional moral virtue. But for Machiavelli, virtù was about skill, strength, shrewdness, adaptability, and decisiveness. It's the capacity to act effectively, to master one's environment, seize opportunities, anticipate threats, and respond with strategic intelligence. It's not about being good morally, but about being competent, resilient, and effective in achieving one's aims. Psychological agility and power. Fortuna represents the unpredictable, external forces of luck, fate, and circumstance. Machiavelli saw fortuna as a wild river. A person with high virtù builds channels to harness its power or navigates its currents with expertise rather than being swept away. The naive, good person often gets swept away, believing moral righteousness alone will protect them. Here's the profound philosophical psychology. Machiavelli understood the chasm between how things ought to be and how things are. He argued that a leader or an individual seeking to thrive must learn to not be good when circumstances demand it. This isn't a call to malice, it's an acknowledgement of the shadow aspects of human nature, which Jung later explored. To integrate your shadow isn't to become evil, it's to acknowledge your full spectrum of capabilities for anger, aggression, self-interest, cunning, and bring them into conscious control. Machiavelli's counsel was to appear merciful, faithful, humane, religious, and upright. But crucially, to be ready to act otherwise when necessity compels it. This isn't about hypocrisy, but strategic self-preservation and the ability to influence outcomes. It's recognizing that in a world where not everyone plays by the same good rules, you must be prepared to protect yourself and your interests. It means shedding the psychological burden of being perpetually vulnerable and instead cultivating a robust, adaptable self. It's about achieving psychological sovereignty, where you are the architect of your own destiny rather than a passive victim of external forces or others' expectations. This isn't about abandoning your values, but defending them with wisdom and strength. So, how do we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? How do we stop trying to be a good person in the naive sense and instead become effective, powerful, and resilient individuals? 1. Cultivate strategic awareness. The lion and the fox. Machiavelli advised being both a lion to frighten wolves and a fox to recognize traps. This means developing the wisdom to discern when to be assertive and strong, the lion, and when to be cunning, adaptable, and subtle, the fox. It's about knowing your social environment, reading people, and understanding unspoken power dynamics. This isn't about deception, but strategic intelligence. When should you be fiercely protective of your boundaries? When should you use diplomacy? Develop this internal radar. 2. Embrace psychological virtue, effectiveness, over naive purity. Prioritize effective action and the achievement of your genuine goals over the mere appearance of moral rectitude or the avoidance of discomfort. This means saying no without guilt, setting firm boundaries, and making tough decisions that serve your long-term well-being, even if they momentarily disappoint someone else. Your virtù is your inner strength, your capacity to navigate challenges and shape your reality. This might mean confronting difficult truths, speaking up, or taking calculated risks. 3. Understand human nature. Realistically, not cynically. Drop the naive assumption that everyone operates from good intentions. Understand that self-interest, manipulation, and even malice are parts of the human spectrum. This isn't an excuse to become cynical or mean-spirited, it's a shield of awareness. It allows you to anticipate potential conflicts, protect yourself from exploitation, and make informed choices about whom you trust and where you invest your energy. Machiavelli's insight helps you spot the wolves in sheep's clothing before they devour you. E4. Master the art of selective vulnerability. You don't need to be an open book to everyone. Choose wisely where and with whom you reveal your true self and your vulnerabilities. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world, and some will use that access against you. This isn't about being closed off, but about discerning who has earned your trust and who genuinely supports your growth. To stop trying to be a good person in the naive, self-sacrificing sense is to liberate yourself from the tyranny of external validation and the burden of constant emotional labor for others. It's to embrace your full psychological spectrum, your capacity for strength, strategic thinking, and self-preservation, so you can not only survive, but truly thrive. It's about becoming a psychologically integrated individual, capable of wielding power ethically and effectively. Don't let the fear of being seen as not good enough hold you back from becoming truly powerful and effective. Your true power, remember, lies in integrating all aspects of your being. If this philosophical deep dive resonated with you, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights into how philosophical psychology can transform your life. Until next time, be wise, be strong, and master your virtù.